Hello and welcome. This is Grant Hughes of Grant Hughes Investigates on YouTube. This channel evaluates all aspects of true crime. As you are aware, videos and live streams in this genre often discuss elements of crime that may be disturbing to some viewers. If necessary, take the precautions needed to avoid these feelings. Factual information related to cases is the key to fostering rational true crime discussions. Fortunately, you will find that here. Please hit the like button only once, share the video, and subscribe if you like my content. Thank you very much for watching.
Huh? It's a house!
You know, that's just one step above stupid. Did you hear what I said? You know, that's just one step above stupid. Did you hear what I said? You know, that's just one step above stupid.
5 brain cells, 4 aren't working. There's mosquitoes the size of bald eagles in that dadgum swamp.
Yo. Yeah, that's exactly what I mean. You said you don't like true crime. You know what I mean? There's like, I'm not in the true crime. We're in the true crime world. This is what we do here. You know? So when you say, I'm not in the true crime world, it's like, well, that's what the show is. That's what we do here. You know? Kind of interesting. Anyways, we've been talking about it for days too. So, you know, when you come in, what's expirated blood? You know, it's like, okay, we've only mentioned it literally 1,000 times. Finally, I don't know if you guys have been watching Fox News recently, but you should see the they literally almost sound like they're copying. They say exactly the same stuff I've been saying, like over. It's incredible. We've been saying this stuff for some of it for a week, some of it for 3 or 4 days, and now finally their producers, probably digging around for a new angle, are saying exactly the same stuff that we've been saying for a long time. So I guess that's good, you know, like, hey, it's vindication on some of the stuff. I mean, it's really, it's crazy. I mean, almost the same explanation for things. I don't know. I'm not sure what to make of it. It's just, it's frustrating. I can tell you that, because when people watch them, they go, oh, wow, that's interesting. Had you been here, you already would have known it. That's the thing. Had you been here, you already would know it. And we derive it here from using logic, reason, and common sense. That's how it works. And for example, I think Kash Patel, I've heard a reference to it, that today they're now saying that the person entered the home at 2:12. That's when they think he entered the home, and then 2:28 is the time that her heart pacemaker, quit communicating with her phone. So it's a 16-minute window. Boy, where did you hear that? Where did you hear that one 2 days ago? Where did you hear that, you know, why don't we just throw out the time at 1:47, the person's outside, maybe they never even entered the home until 2:12. Isn't that weird? Who came up with that? Yeah, so that's what they're saying now. I mean, it's just absolutely crazy to me. You know? And one thing that you still just don't hear people talking about is the, you know, expirated blood spatter on the ground, which means it's usually, you can see it from a cough or something. This is what an example right here in this image. See that right there? That's an example of expirated blood spatter. Where you go, feels like, you know, coughing out blood that might be in your nasal cavity, lungs, etc. That's exactly what that is. See that? That's just a sample that's out there. Here's another example in a sink somewhere. See the bigger droplets of blood coming out, but that's probably also nasal stuff. Boom, a cough. And that's why these little fine misting particles are. And then, you know, the famous Jodi Arias sink, where he's standing over the sink, dripping blood into the sink, and then he coughs up, and that's what you get over here, this fine misting and blood droplets. You see that? Well, I think that's exactly what we see in this video right here. See that? I mean, I had it paused on there. Let me pause it again when it gets to right there. See that? That's exactly what that is. Right. Yeah. Aspirate. I thought it was also called aspirated, but that means your aspiration, I think, means you're breathing it in. Expirated is out. So it's definitely expirated. I made sure, because I've called it aspirated before too. Because I remember hearing that in a trial, but that must have been wrong. So expirated is the correct term. But this is, I think this is a, very important element. So what it means is, in this case, is that Nancy's face was relatively close to the ground when this happened. And then there was blood. Let's just pretend it's her nose, like somebody, she got punched in the nose. And then her head's still, it's not moving, it's still right there. Blood, the bigger droplets here are passive blood drops, meaning they came straight down from the source right to there, right? And then she coughed, and it's really concentrated, probably in a maybe a 2-inch, this is, I think, a foot tile here, so maybe that's like 3 inches or something, and then it sort of starts getting more, it's like a galaxy, it's really dense in the middle, and then as it gets out, it's not quite as dense, just like that. Can you see that? So I've been saying this for a week now, and yet it seems to be where, even after I said it the first time, it took a few days before it finally made it out to somebody saying it somewhere. But it's something that should be kind of discussed often regarding the timeline and how things may have gone down. She's obviously still breathing, or at least attempting to breathe, as she's being removed from the house. It means that she was alive as she's being removed from the home. But hey guys, any chance you guys could help support the channel? We are at 0 all across the board. You guys know how my channel relies on you guys, so if you have the ability to buy channel memberships or super chats, whatever the hell it is, that would be awesome. Oh my god, already an email, just right out of the gate. Can I just do my show for a while? Let's see, I saw in a picture something that appeared to be blood on the brick on the right side. Yeah, I mean, I'm not sure. Let me go check my email, maybe it's important. How do I know who's who? God, I hope you're.
Hey guys, so a few updates here.
Yeah, I already know all this stuff. There was people, 2 people walked up to the house. They removed, somebody was wearing gloves, etc. Like somebody was wearing gloves, and they removed some items from the house. We don't know. I think they're law enforcement. I think it's crazy to wear gloves if you're the private security for the family. You go in there and wear gloves and you bag stuff up. I mean, what would be the point of that? Maybe they were gathering it for law enforcement, maybe. I mean, I guess that's possible. Okay, we'll listen to it. All right, Bird. I hate saying your name, Bird Brain. It's like, it makes it sound like I'm dissing.
First of all,
thanks, Dixie Hippie.
At Annie Guthrie's house, there was some action earlier. There
Right.
were 2 men that showed up in a gray SUV.
I knew about that.
One was wearing gloves.
I heard about it on Fox News.
They went into
Yeah, so right here, there's a guy. He's got blue surgical gloves on.
Annie Guthrie's house for just a couple of minutes, came out carrying a paper bag, and then the man wearing gloves took the mail out of the mailbox and they left. We asked what agency were they
Yeah, so that's interesting that they took mail out of the mailbox. That would sort of seem more personal related.
were from, and they wouldn't respond. The car had blinking lights. I noticed yellow lights in the in the headlights. So I assumed they were law enforcement, but it's possible they were private security, maybe picking up personal belongings. of Andy.
Thanks, Dixie Hipsy, Jesus, Dixie Hippie for gifting a membership. Yeah, there was this flight here earlier. It was crazy. It flew right over their house. Let me rewind it a little bit. It was weird. Yeah, now I don't know where it's going to be because it was a while ago. There's a helicopter though that went direct route right over their house, but didn't seem to do any looping or anything. Yeah, so I guess I lost it. All right, anyways, let's listen to more.
And her husband and bringing them the belongings, but I don't know. The fact that they were in gloves, I'm not sure if they were law enforcement or private security. The other new thing is the New York Post is reporting that a black glove was found in the desert about 1.5 miles from Nancy Guthrie's house, which could possibly be connected.
Oh, that's interesting. Maybe that's why they were looking in that area.
And we know that the searches have intensified with the FBI along roadways in this area. So that's the latest. Still nothing new from the Pima County Sheriff's Office in regard to last night's, subject who was detained.
Okay, Robin. All right.
And
Thanks, Robin.
But I'll keep you guys posted.
All right. Yeah. Yeah, man, I wish I could find that again. It wasn't too long ago. It's just one quick straight shot of the helicopter. Went right over the house. And it was a military helicopter. So that's what made it interesting. I even sent it to 867-5309. And by the way, the guy that yesterday, the guy named, I think his name is Carlos, that they pulled over. He is a, DoorDash driver, and he also delivers other things. So maybe he works for Amazon too. I don't know. Maybe he's the one that delivered that. And I think law enforcement, probably doing geofencing, sees this vehicle that is in the area delivering. And we don't know, that little DoorDash delivery that was at the house, what time was that dropped off? That could have been, 4 in the morning, and they were thinking, well, we don't know the exact time that, they know where she was. I guess they know that she left the house around 2:28. So there'd have to be some delivery, a reason, geofencing, something that a judge literally signed a warrant to go find that guy. Hey, thanks, True Crime King. I would say I am, but yeah, I would actually say that usually people that say True Crime King aren't. They would call themselves something about what they are. Let's see. Could you compare the suspicious loitering suspect from a month ago? That doesn't look like that. That person is not anywhere near there, you guys. You guys have all been sold a bill of goods. The person that was loitering around was miles and miles and miles away. It wasn't even close to there, but people have linked it. Oh, look, it was right in the area. It wasn't even close. I mean, it's crazy. It's all a hoax that you guys... You're talking about the guy that would hold his phone up a little higher, sort of look Middle Eastern, something like that. That guy? Yeah, that's totally bogus. Yeah, but let's say her pacemaker at 228 is too far away to connect to her phone. So what would that would mean that she would be, obviously at that point is probably being taken away from the area. What am I looking at? Hey, thanks. Cats are us. Smells like cartel, but who knows? Well, it's not near that border now. Yes, what are you talking about? Yes, he is forgotten. Maybe related. Not sure what that means. What am I looking at, April? You said, look it, look it, look it, look it. I don't know what that means. He went for a hike and car was parked at Trailhead and he never came home. Who? Who are you talking about? Yeah, I don't know what you guys are referring to. Maybe that would help if you guys would literally type in your sentences. I don't know what you're referring to. I'm not reading all of your comments. Type in a full sentence. In about 2 seconds, I'm going to remove you because you're talking about something completely unrelated to what we're talking about. It's almost like you guys come in here to do this on purpose. Okay? I don't have time. Yeah, so anyways, that's the Expirated blood spatter. Now we know that, let me get this open over here. I don't know what the look at part was about, up above. April, what was that about? Usually that's like an alert of some kind. Let's see. Sorry, Gray. I thought you were about to say that when you were talking about a guy being in another area. Huh? Oh. Well, usually it's when somebody's doing a challenge. So if somebody wants to do a challenge of some sort so we can get moving here a little bit, that would be fantastic. We have 1 gifted membership. And I think we're at $26 on the other side. So 31 total. How in the heck would they know he dropped something? Ah, God. Man, you guys. Ah. All right. Anyways, here's the timeline. Now, so we know at 5:32, Nancy goes to Annie's house for dinner. And she takes an Uber to get there. And then to go home, I think she probably arrived at the house at 5:42, and then, this 5:32 could be when she was dropped off, but it was reported as that's when she heads off. So anyways, 5:42, she would get to the house, and then after playing games, etc., Tommaso drove Nancy home and got there at 9:48. That means he left right around 9:38, if everything's just normal. And, when he gets there at 9:48, he opens up the garage door, lets Nancy in. 9:50, the garage door shuts. And then almost 4 hours later, that is when we start seeing the guy on the Ring doorbell camera. This guy. Now, this shot here, this one, is from prior to that. Minutes and minutes, like way before that, I would think. I would say, 4 or 5... I'm just guessing. Let's say 5 minutes before. He doesn't have the backpack on, doesn't have the gun in position. And then he makes his way to the door, tries to open it, notices he's trying to sort of block the view of the camera with the gloved hand. I don't think that this is a normal latex black glove like so many people had been saying. This right here, latex gloves have really thin and have like really tight folds in them. I mean, this is thicker than that. That's what I get out of it. I do not. I mean, right in there it sort of looks like that, but I don't know. I just think these are thicker gloves. In fact, law enforcement today is looking into the clothing. FBI, everybody, they're looking into the clothing that he was wearing. And one of the people on TV said he has really unusual gloves. Boy, who said that yesterday? Yeah, they said, oh, look, he's got really unusual gloves. They're not just the normal... Unusual gloves aren't the normal black latex, right? That means they, too, see something different there. Now, you could have multiple gloves on, and maybe it creates a look. Even multiple latex gloves. Yeah, I mean, yesterday I came up with some... Let me see if I can find those. Oh, right here. Is that it? Oh, man, I don't know if I saved that. But I had a really... gloves that looked very similar. Yeah, I don't have those now. Darn it. I had it. I thought I had it from yesterday, but apparently it's not there. No, we didn't. Don't say you noticed. If you say noticed a possible tattoo, then the answer is no. And if you have YouTubers claiming they see a tattoo, then they're likely full of shit. Okay? All right, let's go back. So there's the gloves, the gun in the front. There's so many YouTubers out there that'll just tell you whatever they can to create sensationalism and interest to the people watching. If my information isn't interesting, then just don't watch it. I'm going to put out the factual elements of a case using, and then also speculate, using reason, logic, common sense. All right, the guy yesterday, though, the guy Carlos, it turns out that they probably tracked him. They actually had a search warrant for him, so a judge deemed it to be reasonable. But they smashed in his door, etc. So I hope to God, law enforcement or whatever picks up the tab to repair all those things. I mean, I'm sure they will. I can't imagine not doing that. Hey, thanks, Violet, for gifting a membership. Oh, come on. No way, Deb. No way. That one's so eerie. It's weird. Anything? All right. So another thing that they're now saying, it seemingly, I don't know. I mean, we've been saying that as soon as this came out, one of the first things that I looked at was these tiles right here. These two in particular. All right. And the reason those are interesting is because if you go to this video here, and maybe you go to the end where it backs out a little bit. Right, I guess that one, I don't know, let's see if this one has that. Might be the other camera. Hey, thanks, Debuno. Yeah, right there. So this is where the expirated blood is, right there. And then there's blood on the third tile, there's blood on that tile. And on this is the doormat, and then just above up there is that camera. So when you go back to the camera, you look down, there's that doormat, right? So it's right there. And then these are about a foot long, these tiles here. So if you look at it, there's one tile, and then the second tile is from the door. So you got there, the mat's literally 2 feet long. It goes right to the edge of the second tile. So if you go to this one and you see there's the second tile, that's where it ends. So that means one, and then this tile ends at the door, at the building, right? So this tile right here is the last one, and then it hits the building, the house. So this is the tile where you would expect to see blood had there been something prior to this. So we know for certain that at that moment in time there's no blood right there, which makes sense logically, right? This is when he's showing up. I think that this is absolutely is at 147-ish. This is right around that time when he actually removes the camera from the front door. God, what's going on? We got the trolls in here again? Ah, jeez. We're not hearing from the sheriff because he didn't know what the hell he was doing. Let's see. Right, so there should be blood right there, and there isn't. So obviously, whatever happened to Nancy is after this. So that's a sort of a timeline indicator thing. So at 147, that's when he removed the camera. And then I think that the killer or killers, don't know, we only have evidence of one at this point, went around and sort of prepped the house for entry. And then I think, when you look at the timeline, the 2:12 moment here is when the suspect actually entered the home. Because 147, we see he's outside, right? And so he removed that camera. So that camera doesn't exist anymore in terms of capturing him moving. So that means at 2:12, it's another camera. And I think somebody, early on, they mentioned that that camera was inside the house. All right? And so what that means is, at 2:12 is likely around the time the suspect entered the home. And then 2:28, she could even still be in the home, but her pacemaker is more than, I think they were saying, 10 feet from your watch or cell phone. And so she's far enough away where it doesn't communicate with her cell phone ever again. And so what that means is the window of time, which now Fox News is saying, and I've been saying the same thing since yesterday, early in the day, that we could maybe start looking at 2:12 being the time, and then 2:28 seems more reasonable. So there's really a tight window, a much tighter window of 16 minutes inside the home than the 41 minutes that was previously said. The person's there, but they're not interacting with Nancy until 2:12-ish, something like that. And by the way, now that you bring it up, Top Secret, I'm not that you brought it up, but you're from Canada. I didn't even notice, but yesterday there was a mass shooting in Canada at a school where another transgender student went in and massacred multiple people, like 9, and just a little girl. They're going to take her off life support. Absolutely disgusting. But you know what? I always get tired every time we have a mass shooting, and a lot of people from Canada come on here and they belittle us every time, saying, "Oh, see, you guys you shouldn't have guns, you shouldn't do that." And then here we go. It happens anywhere. Psychos who get guns can do things. Guns are out there in the world somewhere. Yeah, it's a disgusting story. It's right here. And weird, too, because Canada probably treated that person like a goddess, So this girl right here is on life support. They're taking her off today. But, a total of 25 people were injured in the massacre. Maya Gabella, 12, was shot in the neck and head and is not expected to survive the night. Sources told the Daily Mail that Strange, that's the name of the person, lived at the home with 3 relatives. Strang is also believed to have used her pronouns on it. The whole pronoun thing is just absolutely ludicrous. So there you go. I mean, that's her, and she's not expected to live. All right, so you guys everybody has problems out there in all the countries. It's not just, we have more, that's true. But, man, how many times have we been belittled in here by other, I'm not saying you're doing that. You just reminded me that I was going to bring up this story. That's just, man, that's just so ridiculous. I guess they killed something like 9 people. 8 or 9. What's the media doing over there? Top secret. Yeah. But you've seen that, right? We always get ridiculed, and man, it's a terrible story. What's the media over there talking about? I just saw it actually just before I came on here. I didn't even know about it because I've been so, mired in this case. But hey guys, could you please help support the channel? We're on one of those massive lull slowness factors, and we got to hit our goals, etc. We're had a good recovery the last few days from the trip that I went on. Even though on the trip we sort of had, met just right at the edge of the goal type of thing, but that doesn't get us where we're able to send in thousands of dollars. This could be one of those months if we get the support from the people watching. So if you're watching the show and you like what we do here and how we discuss things, if you could hit the like button. Also, if you have the ability to, if you could send in super chats or gift channel memberships to other people. There's a lot of people here that aren't channel members. It'd be nice to have some gifted. Really appreciate it. Nobody's required to do anything. He killed his mother and brother. Not too much media. Lots of focus on Mrs. Yeah. Well, you guys are fortunate on that. Whenever we have a mass shooting like that, it's all over the world. Everybody talks about it. Been pretty quiet. Sure, except carrier pigeon. Do you have one that can fly this far, Ryan? That'd be great. Hey, thanks, Curtis West. Yeah, I heard that they found a glove. Does anybody know where the glove was found? Glove found, Nancy Guthrie. Let's see. Hey, thank you so much. They're Eagles! Or Eagle Stars and Stripes. I could say Eagles, Rars, and... Eagles, Tars, and Stripes. I could have said that. On the side of the road. Okay, what road, though? I mean, you see how that's not helpful at all? Hey, where'd they find the glove? On the side of the road. Well, let's see. Let's go look for the side of the road, everybody. Here we go. There's a side of the road there. Ooh, look at, there's a side of the road right there. Do you see it? There's a side of the road right there. Hey, look at that. Oh my God, there's a side of the road right. Everybody. Look at. There's a side of the road there. 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 5 and 15, 20. Side of the road there. There's a side of the road there. There's a side of the road there. There's a side of the road there. My God, we're almost there. Yeah, it's hard to find it. It's just getting those kind of clues. All right, let's see if we can. And by the way, that's just my humor, you guys. It's called dry humor. Right? Hey, thanks, Jareth King and Top Secret to you. Go to New York Post. That's what I have open right here. I was trying to figure out how. I guess I have to allow ads. I don't know why. I've always had it there. Okay, investigators find black glove during... Oh, by the way, you know the jackass live streaming YouTuber that goes over there and he stands out there all day with those stupid baggy shorts and absolutely has a Wikipedia about him? Now, he ordered a pizza yesterday and had it delivered to Nancy's house. A bunch of pizzas, right? And then law enforcement had to put out a statement today to tell everybody... Can you not deliver food to... I mean, what the hell is going on here? That's so childish. It's ridiculous. All right. Investigators find black glove during hunt for Nancy Guthrie's kidnapper, and the Post was there. Ooh, God, they were there when they... Oh, my God, they actually show it. Yeah, it does sort of, you know, has a similar vibe to it. God, man, let's see. FBI agents have recovered a black glove from a roadside near Nancy Guthrie's house. Hey, thanks, 15 Lee 89 and ka-chow. Kaboom! They can DNA test the glove. Now, that's absolutely sure, for certain. Well, it also depends on if he had an outer layer of gloves. That's what a clever criminal would do. You would put on latex gloves and then put another latex glove over the top of that one, and then at the end you can remove the outer latex glove with relatively low exposure to DNA on the inside. And it also wouldn't put DNA on the inside of the gloves unless somehow you touch the fingers of the original set of gloves, and then there is some touch DNA on the outer portion of the first set and then makes it onto the inside of the next set. You get what I'm saying? Alright, so the detectives have recovered a black glove from the roadside. Let me save these out. Boom. And boom. I wonder if it's significant. I mean, I guess I'll have to find out. Video and photos show at least one member of the FBI evidence response team pulling the glove from the low desert shrubbery in Guthrie's secluded desert suburb. Is this interesting? Is that the location? We might be able to find this. Here, let's... Alright, this might take a few minutes if you guys don't mind. This is kind of my wheelhouse. So you're saying within a mile and a half, right? Oh, interesting. So that's, we know, mile and a half. And it must be, it's on a highway. Yeah, so it's on a highway. It's on one of these roads that has something like that. Here, let me just go down. I'm going to try to find this. All right. I don't know how, it's hard to narrow it down because they didn't provide any really good background, like mountains or anything like that, but let's see. They actually have the overhead shot. And this is... do all these have that? So those don't. It could be over here even. So it's a mile and a half. Why would they say within a mile and a half? They must be right on the edge of that. I'm never watching again. Dixie hippie. All right. 8 months. But hey, while you're watching, if you could support the channel, that would be fantastic. So it's probably not there. Let's go. Let's look at this area. Man, if they could adjust. That's what I'm looking at. Okay, so I'm gonna try to see if we can randomly find this. I know it's kind of, but it's on a highway, and it looks like it's one that just is a double. Okay, so we can eliminate this whole thing. It's a road that has double. It's more. Let's see. It has the yellow, so it's a two-way with a double yellow in the middle. So let me just see if I can find that. That would make it a lot easier. Yeah, see, that's not split up. This is like a road that see, that's not it. This is it's a two-laner, one way each direction, and has hey, thanks, Millin. Emlyn. Yeah, hit the like button, everybody. All right, let me just go up here. So somebody is leaving the house. And they said it's next to Nancy's house, right? A mile and a half on the side of a road. So it's none of these roads here. None of these. It's not those, because that's split two-way. Hey, look at that. KMTX and Sally's wife and T. Bolton. Welcome. Yeah, let me, instead of using the 3D version, what's the last one they got? February 2025. And it's got a yellow double line. And they're saying it's within a mile and a half, huh? Let me go back to that. Well, it's not there. Yeah, they found a glove. That's what we're looking. I'm looking for the spot here. Yeah, maybe I'll like work my way in. But see, the thing is, it's a main road. It's not one of these inner roads, because if you look at the image right here, see that? It's got the. I would imagine this is just one road by itself, because it's a double yellow line. That means one way goes one way, and one way goes the other way. And so that means it's definitely a single road with a double yellow line separating it. A Home Depot? Okay, let me see. Yeah, if you can give me any clues. This had nothing in the image. I usually use background mountains and things like that to triangulate, but... Okay, well, the Home Depot's over here, so that kind of doesn't work. Yeah, it's not there. Okay, when you say apparently near a Home Depot, well, that's a rental. Yeah, it's definitely not anywhere near a this Home Depot. There's one here, though, and that's kind of on the edge of it. What mask? I don't know if they'd be that dumb. I just want to see, you got to mark down things like that in case it's significant. Next to a neighbor's house. I don't know, that shot we just saw wasn't near a neighbor's house, unless there's a yellow divider line somewhere. Maybe there is now. Let's see. Yeah, I just don't see it. So that's Nancy's house. They didn't. No, it's not on a dirt path. This is where they found it. I've got a picture of it. So I don't know who you're listening to, but I mean, there's a road there. I mean, I guess it could be. I don't know if that's the same road. It just seems like, why would you show two different photographs? So they have this one, and this thing here seems like maybe it's possibly, I don't know, maybe right there. And then there's a little opening. Is that the glove right there, even? I don't know. But they gave this photograph. It's in the not document. In the article, this one. The New York Post. Okay, I just showed it to you. Okay, I just showed it to you, Karen. All right, let's see. Let me see if this is it right here. Let me put in geo coordinates. I don't know. See, it's not the same. I mean, it's not a double line anyways. See, this is a double yellow. See that? Karen, let me do my own thing, Karen. Yeah. All right, let's see. Hey, we got Jay Tharp. Thank you. And when you say they got a picture, where is it? What does that mean, Julia? Nobody knows what that means. Let's see. They posted pics of it. Okay, email it to me then. Man, so disruptive. I'm looking at the pictures in the article. That's what they gave. So, I mean, I don't have any reason to believe that the FBI discovered the glove as part of an extensive search of the neighborhood in which agents were out in force combing the roadside. And so, yeah, I mean, maybe this picture here isn't associated. Well, I don't know. Look at, I mean, there's the vehicle. It looks like that's the vehicle parked on the side of the road. It's right there. Is there, okay, let's look at this. There's the front of the car and a bush just to the left of the front of the car. Let's see. Well, there you go. It's right there. Is there extra bushes? One that goes off to the left a little bit. And yeah, it could be this area right there. So this seems to be, and they're looking, let's see where they're looking. They're looking, they have it on the ground. It's right next to a bush and a bunch of cactuses right there. And that's the bunch of cactuses. So let's see if, I mean, it would be right around in that area. There is one, something black on the ground right there, though, which definitely could be it. Okay, let's see. Let me see these pictures. Yep, that's the same pictures I got. Yep. Yeah, you you didn't send me anything different. This is what I just got right here. I don't see the dirt road that you're talking about. Look. I'm not sure what this means. Like, is that's it? But there's the glove. There's the same agent that we see in this article. Right there. That guy. In fact, he's standing. It's the same picture they're using. Except they cut off the other part where you can see a road over here. And then they have him standing next to a big tall cactus. And maybe that cactus is right there. As a matter of fact, it is. Okay, look. See this cactus right here? This really tall cactus like that? That's this one right here. You can see it. It's got even the, like, I mean, I know that there's others that look like that, but I think that's exactly what that is right there on the side of the road. So that's this photo. And then knowing that that's that photo, you see how there's a double yellow line. I know you emailed. It's wrong, Karen. It's the same. I mean, it's not wrong. It's the same one I'm showing you. Yours just have cropped images in it. Hey, thanks to Saturn Dreaming of Mercury. Thinking out loud here, why not secure the phone and or watch to drones or a vehicle and drive it around? I think they tried to do that with a helicopter. That's sort of a cool idea. But you'd have to get within 10 feet, apparently, though. Hey, thanks, Barb Space. Now let's look down here where I was just sent this, just for the hell of it. Yeah, no, that's not it. Yeah, I got your email. It's just the same thing that I have. It's right here. This is what you sent in the email. Page 6. They basically pilfered the information from the New York Post. Yeah, let's see. 1, 2, 3. These pictures aren't related. The ones that are related to the glove are this one, and that one. And that's just off the side of the road. It's not a dirt path. Right, the people that were looking around in yards, right. They might have done that after they found a glove. Maybe they wanted to find another one. Yeah, that's what I'm trying to find. These yellow lines on single streets. That's what I was working on. What are you... I've already done that. Yeah, I've already done it. If you find a street, a single street that has a double yellow line on it, let me know. That's all you got to tell me. Maybe inside of this area, okay? This is inside of a 1.5 miles. This goes way up here, though. Well, that's interesting. Right there, right? That's what that looks like. That's exactly what we're looking for right there. See that? That's exactly what we're looking for. You see that? Look it. So, hold on. Might be getting close now. Let me just put a pin down, because this is, I think, well, it's either that one or the one to the left of it, right? Okay, let's start on this road, starting right there first. And then go backwards. These are people's driveways. He's looking for a desert spot. Kind of thinking of this spot right here. Man, that spot was looking pretty good there for got a little pull out. That's the side of the road, but then that's bigger than it. There's something that kind of jolts into there. So that's not it. And then this road could be over here. That one's looking good though. That thing, that's exactly what the road looks like. Yeah, I think we're getting close. I'm outside of the circle now. You know, it's weird. It could be on the other side of the road too, like that. Let me go back over to the other spot and go this. Pretend it's this direction. Ding 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 ding. Yeah, so it stopped. The yellow line stopped right there. I'm just comparing the bushes. Now they got these rocks on the side. Okay, so you can rule out all of that. Then yeah, so that double line stops right here is where it stops being, but there's too much space on the left-hand side there. Also, they were showing today that the Google Nest camera comes off way too easy. Yeah, yeah. Heard they found a mask near Home Depot. Was it the same kind of mask? God, I hope there isn't somebody throwing stuff around right now to throw people off. I could see that one YouTuber doing stuff like that. Couldn't you? Yeah, it's weird. This spot right here, this looks good. It's perfect. All right, hold on. Where's the one that had the, oh yeah, it was the other article. So. That's different. I was kind of hoping that was the same, but I'm just comparing it to right now to the cactus. Bunch of big ones out here. And none of those are the ones. Man, that's nuts. Anyways, let's see. I mean, yeah, it's crazy. Yeah. I mean, yeah, good for him, I guess. It's just so amazing. Okay. So that looked pretty good, but that doesn't seem to be. I can't find the precise cactus and look that it has. This street here looked really good, though. That's the thing. That one was almost perfect. Yeah, but that's not the same. Unless, was that? Yeah, you can't, the cactus behind there you can't see. Although it's a different time of year, so. Yeah, that one also has two peaks on it, that one. But that looks really similar. I mean, really similar. Look at that. Pretty crazy. It looks like there's more things on there, but man. Yeah, that's really clear. And there's also trees and stuff in the background, but that looks so similar. It's weird. The difference, but the caller just referred to a mask. Who? she could have died from natural causes due to the kidnapping. And that's actually popped into my head yesterday. I was thinking, the guy goes into the house. Well, here's what I was actually randomly thinking. I mean, it doesn't make any sense, but it was like, hey, maybe she was roughed up in the house and she did go out of the house on her own. But then where would she be? You'd find her right away. She's not going very far. So that's just out the window. She was abducted and removed from the front door, brought to a vehicle, and taken away. All right, guys. I know I don't get the 60,000 people that watch, but if you could help support the channel, nevertheless, that would be great. Probably if you have 60,000 people watching, you don't have to ever ask or worry about it because your ad revenue alone is ridiculous. But then you also get the super chats, and everybody's so excited because you are showing people, well, especially that guy, nonsense. Who the hell orders a pizza and has it sent to a crime scene house? An idiot does that. That's what idiots do. If you want to support idiots, then you go right ahead. You mentioned that coughed up blood outside the spot totally looks like she coughed right. Well, she did. I mentioned it a week ago. No, it doesn't. No, it doesn't mean that. It doesn't mean that. OSU Bucks doesn't mean that at all. Yeah, you can, if you have blood in your nasal cavity, let's say you got punched in the nose and some of the blood runs down your throat and you cough it up, that's what it does. It looks just like that. So you can't make a declarative statement like that. Hey, thanks, T. Bolton. Blood spray is so close to the ground, suggesting they laid her there. Yeah, I don't know if she was laid there, or let's say she was dragged or carried, like carried her back legs, one in the front legs, and she's still alive, and she could have even been, basically standing up, but bent way over and went, like coughed or something. Yeah, but it seems like it's really close to the ground when you look at it. Right there. And that 100% is what that is. And I just found it so weird that the media almost, rarely ever, like one person sort of recently brought it up. But we've been talking about this since the 4th when this video was taken by Enton. It's like that should be the first thing that when you bring on one of your forensic people that they notice. Like that's obvious, right? I mean, I talked to Joseph Scott Morgan, I messaged him, and he said, yeah, he mentioned something like it does. I'll tell you exactly what he said, okay? So I don't misquote somebody. Let's see. Where is he? Oh, right there. I said, hey, on a show the other day when I was first talking about... Oh, wait, no, that wasn't it. I said, hey, does this look like... That was a different time. That was months, like years before. Hey, Joseph, does this look like expirated blood spatter? And he said, possibly the finer droplets. Think Travis Alexander's sink. And what's funny is on the show, I'd already brought up Travis Alexander's sink, which is crazy that after all those years, he came up with the same exact case analogy. And I sent him this picture right here, that one. So I sent him that one, and that's what he came up with. And Travis Alexander's sink is... I have it right here. I don't know if... is that it? Oh, right here. See? Like there's droplets and then expirated blood right there. A better sample might be like this one. Drip, 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 and then coughing up blood. But a like a precise look as that. I mean, tell me that doesn't look like that. I mean, that is absolutely similar. And I think the how dense it is towards the middle is how close you are to the surface that you're coughing on. Huh? I pay hundreds. I got security. I pay hundreds of dollars for that. Yeah. It's good stuff. Well, it's the same thing. It's still expirated blood. That means there's blood inside a breathing airway, and you could sneeze out blood, you could cough it up. It's still expirated. Mm-hmm. All right. Well, let's see, where are we at here? Pretend I have 60,000, you guys, and hit that like button and support the channel. Yeah. So anyways, we know that the blood wasn't there. We'll look again here in a minute for the glove location. That one seemed like a good spot and didn't seem... It looks pretty good. That's right on the edge of that 1.5 miles, too. That's why it looks so good right there. Right. So I'm going to say right here, I'm going to make it 147. The front door camera was removed. And then I think that for 30 minutes, 25 minutes, I'm just going to say abductors prepare the house for entry. And I think even after they removed the doorbell camera, they may have pulled back and, sort of, hey, wait, let's get out of here. Let's see if, and then thinking that maybe that set off an alarm or something. And then nobody shows up. So then at 2:12, they make entry through the back door, break in the back door. There is signs of forced entry. And when they go inside, a camera inside the house, I think that's the one that is the one. The camera inside the house is the one that didn't record video because there weren't bills paid. Now, maybe they can extract video using the same technique that they use to get the doorbell camera. So maybe they still have an option of that. But I think that is the time. 2:12 is when the abductors entered into the home. And then 2:28 is the time that her pacemaker stopped connecting to her phone. So likely right around that time is when she was removed from the home. And that would make it only a 16-minute time frame that they were inside that house, which is way more reasonable than wondering what the hell they were doing for 41 minutes. And I said that, I think, yesterday in the morning or the day before, and now Fox News is, oh yeah, and Kash Patel said something related to that. So there you go, you guys. If you're here, you actually know about it first. Not that it's... what I'm saying is, what I do on this channel is I back engineer what law enforcement has based on the information using common sense, logic, and reason. And so when I come up with a theory of something, it's really got a good chance of being true. It's just not a fact until law enforcement tells you it is. So apparently they think now that 2:12 is the window between 2:12 and 2:28 is the window they were in the house. Now they were there outside much earlier, and we don't know if they hung around a little bit longer afterwards. But she was removed from the house at 2:28. So I would say that blood spatter, expirated blood spatter at the front door was put there at like right around 2:28, 2:29, because apparently you only have to be about 10 feet away from your phone and then it stops connecting. And your watch is sort of an extension, like having one of those Wi-Fi extenders in your home. So you're having your watch with you, it's right next to you, and then that'll always keep sending signal to your phone, and then you can sort of walk around your yard, etc., and it'll still work. But if you don't have your watch on, you don't have your phone on, then you're limited in range. And so they could have almost had her out of the house, and it goes off, and then just after that, she coughs on the ground and then is put into a vehicle and driven away. And she was still alive when she left that house. All right, who's going to do one of the challenges for us in here so we can try to get the ball rolling? We are really only about a third of just a basic goal that we try to reach. That would be awesome. All right, somebody said they have the glove and the road sign. Okay, that's cool. Where can you just tell me what's the link to that? Send me the link. Whoever sent me that, send me the link to the article, not just the image. That, you know, I got to get it. Yeah, you don't need to explain what's in images. All right. I don't know. Yeah, there's another type of sign. I don't know if that's actually the same exact spot because it looks different. But send me the article that you got it in. I don't know, man. Just send me the article. Yeah. I mean, it's interesting how they still seem like they're having people near Annie's home and looking around. It's 3 miles away. It's not close. Shoes look like Merrill Mox. Okay, well, anybody can say anything. Those shoes are absolutely not clear. There's not one clear shot of them. And people just come up with something. I know they're trying to help, but, you know, just, oh, look at that. It's a New Balance. 3rd generation. Okay, copy URL. Share. Oh yeah, email. I'm trying to send this link to myself. Ah, God. I just send emails, you guys. This is just getting ridiculous. All right. I know you sent one, but I'm talking about other things that are being sent. Nancy Guthrie's disparate new letter to TMZ. Yeah, I guess there's a new letter that gave out a name and a email address to get 1 Bitcoin. Yeah, it looks like the same lady. So probably are in a similar place. Okay, yeah, so this has a pretty big side of the road. I think, doesn't this kind of, what does that sign mean right there? Let's see, single chevron left. Yeah, what does that mean? Chevron road sign, keep road safe. Chevron road signs show the edge of the road or the curve with a reflective feature to keep the road safe. That's just there to keep something safe. And it could just be that there's a sort of a fall off there. All right, you guys, we're having a massive lull in here, so if you're out there, if you could please help support the channel. I hate having to ask all the time, but this is the only way to keep the channel going. So if you have the ability to, that would be awesome. It's one of the worst parts of the show, to have to keep asking and asking and asking, when if I was a conspiracy nutter channel with thousands of people going, ooh, 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 wouldn't have to ask one time. Hey, did you see that, you guys? Phyllis just gave one of the challenges. They said, Gray, I challenge chat to donate 5 memberships. Just one membership by 5 different people. And then Phyllis will donate 5 all by herself. What do you guys think of that? Thanks so much, Phyllis. Maybe people will do it. From the people searching that dropped it. Could be a glove from the people. No, it's not. It's not. Yeah. Let me go back over to here again. This seemed like a... Is there a curve somewhere? I mean, it's hard to say if it's a curve, because it said it could be just if there's a drop on. Well, there you go. Look at that. SBA 8710 and Tara Crabtree. Very cool. Well, there you go. It's already been met. That's amazing. Hey, thanks, guys. So, if they say it's a mile and a half, then it's got to be near the edge. You would think. God, that one spot looks so good, though. And welcome all new members, and thank you so much there, Phyllis. Very kind of you, Phyllis Watson. Yeah, it's part of the show I just hate, you know, and the trolls love it. Well, every time I'm saying, hey guys, we can help support the channel. Because what we do on this channel is I try to bring in enough income where it supports the channel, and then I try to start, you know, donate thousands of dollars out of the income, whether it be ad revenue or super chats, etc. And we try to make a big difference outside of the realm of just doing the show. So my channel's donated $283,000 since January of 2020, and we did $46,000 last year, and we just keep on trucking. We have a DNA fund that we've put over 100,000 in, and we're, you know, there's some cases we're just still waiting for the labs to give us a sequence to put into genetic genealogy and identify people. We don't do that part, obviously, but we just pay for it all. So that's it. All right. Thank you, Violet. You're turning violet, Violet. Yeah, yeah, it's weird. The only road that I found that looked really good was the one. God, maybe it's on this one. If the road doesn't have the, if it ever just gets double, you know. Could just be one side, although I think on that one overhead shot you see the other. Yeah, see, you see the other side of the road. Man, that matches so perfectly to that one road that we found way over here. Oh, man, I was just... I was like, is that it, man? We got the chevron. I was thinking we might see a chevron. It had the double road right there. It's perfect. But it didn't have the chevron. Maybe it's on this side, though. No? I don't know. Let's look. Yeah, it was pretty good, wasn't it? The side of the road bit. Somebody I go, where's the glove? They said it's on the side of the road. Which is literally the least helpful comment in the history of the world. I know people are just being helpful, but you got to admit, like, that doesn't help find anything. That's mean, Gray. That's mean. I don't think so. Hey, thanks, Dixie Hippie, and thank you, Suki Smith. Look at that. Hi from Suffolk, near London in the UK. Not Suffolk County, Florida. Or is that Georgia? Yeah, I can't remember now. Thanks for always providing factual research and detailed reporting. It's rare to find a channel this professional. Hey, thanks. Yeah, some people don't like the way I do it, you know, but... yeah, I'm sure I could be more. It'd be hard to be different because this is my personality. You know, like you guys get to see me no matter what my personality. You know, every day I'm just like a regular person. You know how some days you feel you're better than the next day, or you're happier one day, or whatever. I'm still doing my shows regardless of how I feel. So, you know, some days I might be more of an ass than on another day, and might be funnier on another day than another day. And I found a black glove similar to the one. Who did? Where did they find that? I'm just still trying to find the first one. Location. It's not as easy as... if somebody can find another road that has a single... That looks pretty good. What's this one? And that's not too far from her house at this point. Man, okay. That's just right here. It was kind of blurry, so I wasn't able to see it. Yeah, let's start right here. No, that's right. That's correct. This is the way it's supposed to look. Yeah, this is exactly how it's supposed to look. It's got the double and then white and then wide space here. I think this is we're gonna be in the right place here in a second. Hold on. Oh, yeah, I thought I had it. I was like, oh man, this has got to be it. Whoa, jeez. I'm going to go this way for a little bit. Yeah, I'm not sure what you're typing in there, Jamie. I can try that, but I don't want to lose my spot. So I think I'm close. What? Oh, that's funny. Well, it's the same road that I just identified. So let's see. I hope if this is it, then I was going to get on the right path. There's some chevrons. I don't know if that's the right. Let's see if there's one that maybe this one. Just let me do my own thing, Jamie. I don't see the video. Why don't you send me the article? I use the New York Post. I have it. That's what I was looking at. Oh, Jesus, you guys. Right. Send me the video on an email. Just send me the video in the email. Here's my email address. Maybe I have a different New York Post. Send that one. But yeah, that's the road that we just identified a minute ago. See that right here? That's where I was going. I was heading down this direction. And apparently that's just right there. It was that close to where we were just starting. Okay, I just need... Hey, Karen, quit sending me stuff, okay? It's not reliable. So if you guys could, whoever it was, just send me the New York Post to that email right there. Yeah, I know that they were searching the foothills this morning. But the foothills is actually the same neighborhood they live in. Seems so far away. The gloves? That has a sign on it. Seems so far away. But if the reward were not so paltry, we might have, I don't know. The rewards don't generally lead to anything, you guys. I'm just telling you the truth. Rewards are basically meaningless, other than it brings more attention to a case. But almost never is the reward, you know, and if it turns out that an award works, then it's just that like somehow a person just got lucky. Oh, look, it isn't that they came forward because of the money. It has nothing to do with it. Yeah, this must be on a curve because it's like a on both sides, the chevron. Who are you talking about? Who are you referring to, top secret? Okay, I didn't get the email, so not sure I'd buy it. Let's see, glove, found side of the road, new, black glove. Like there was somebody there first? I'm not going to read chat. I'm just going to do it on my own. Yuck. What the hell was going on there? There it is. So let's see the address that they gave. Could be right there on the right. And it kind of looks like, yeah, it kind of looks like it might be this one. So that means it'd be right over here, and maybe that's the cactus. There you go. That's the shape I was looking for, that little part that goes in like that. Let's see if that matches. Yep. Looks good. Here we go. And we would have found it. Look at that. Exactly the same. So it even has the same. This is what I did in the, what case was that? The McStay family case. I actually, you know, they said in the desert that there was this, where they found the bodies, and I was able to find where they were based off of just the bushes, and I found the pattern of bushes, and then boom. And then we found out that there were these tracks in the mud, and the tracks in the mud, we looked up the weather, and it looks like those tracks had been there 2 years. And each track went to each grave, and I sent it into law enforcement, and I said, hey, it looks like those tracks were formed in mud, and I gave them the dates that it rained right around the time the McStay family went missing. And then law enforcement emailed me back and said, we verified your information. And they used it in at the trial. Pretty cool shit, huh? But look at that. Isn't that amazing how it's exactly, everything's the same when you look at that? Look at, watch. That bush is right there. You know, that little opening. You can probably even count these little bushes in here and go, look, I mean, there's three. Look at how there's three right there. 1, 2, 3. That's right there. 1, 2, 3. It's crazy, isn't it? So thanks for getting that. The address got us there way quicker. But we would have found it because we were on the right road, and we're just going to work backward. Yeah, it is fun. No, thanks for giving the address is actually the... I think it is fun. It's probably the more... That's why sometimes I like to just do it on my own on the side, because it's like it takes away my fun. And it's still fun. You know, we were looking around. We finally got to the right road. I just didn't have time to get to this part. So black glove found. Now, does anybody know where the new one was found? So somebody mentioned another one was found. And thanks up there, Jamie. Thank you, Matthew Price. So the glove it is pretty close. It's not a mile. It's really only 0.82 miles. It's not a mile and a half. But driving there, maybe it is. I mean, the roads here, there's nothing easy to get to. I could see people getting lost in here. And that's something nobody's really talked about that much. You know, obviously the person didn't have their cell phone on. All right, let's look at this is a new sort of thought process that you haven't heard on any of the stations out there, but you'll start hearing it tomorrow or the next day because we're talking about it here. You know, the guy didn't have their cell phone on. And you tell me how in the hell you'd know how to get out of here or get to her place without being there multiple times. This is like, just like in the Idaho 4 case, driving around those back neighborhoods. This is absolutely a nightmare here. I mean, you in the darkness, no street lights, you don't have a phone with GPS mapping on it. Yeah, we've already found the spot, Rick. Thanks, though. So that means this person knew this area like the back of their hand. Do you guys see that? I mean, I hadn't really thought of that till just now. Well, I wouldn't give... we found the right street, and then an individual in here said this is the house, but it turns out, you know, it's right there. You know, I'm sure if the article said that, but just looking at it, you could see this portion right here in the image, and then you know it's just like right back over here to the right. And then we just showed it on Google Earth how it matched perfectly the image that they gave as an overhead shot. Yeah, so I wouldn't give myself credit for finding it all on my own. I mean, we got to the right street, and then somebody gave us the address over there. I think that was Jamie up there. Gave the address of this house, and then that's close. Where's that double chevron though? Is that right here too? And that's something that's weird. I mean, the street view is from March of 2025. Maybe they put that in later. Yeah, but do you see that, Karen? How this isn't a dirt road somewhere that you tried to get me to look at? Right. I do like to find it on my own, yeah. It's fun. And a lot of people just watch me as I work through and try to find it. And then some people jump in and go, oh, here it is! And then it's like, then it's not as fun, you know? I saw the chevron. I'm talking about the one that has double chevron. It's like a this one right here, look. Maybe this is in a different spot too, you know, maybe they followed them around. This one, it's the same two people. Maybe this is just further away somewhere, but they were looking around the double chevron there. We already know where the ones are. I mean, you guys, I mean, I don't mind if other people are looking around. I'm just saying that's what I do. I mean, I spend hours when I'm not even on a show trying to find stuff. I know, Karen, but you act like you're all on top of everything, and you just keep bombarding me with information, and it's very rarely accurate. So when you're sure of something, send it to me, okay? Thank you. All right, I got to go use the facilities. Yeah, I was thinking on the curves, right? That's what I was saying a minute ago. Yeah, sort of. That's kind of what it's like. Yeah, it feels like you're spending all this time looking for it, and then somebody goes, "Hey, it's right here," and then you're like, "Oh man, I was getting close because I was on the right road, and I was just going to work my way down." But I tell you what, having the video that was mentioned up there by Jamie, that would have been better if I had that right at the start. Okay, that would have actually been, that would have worked. I would have seen that stone thing, and then that would have been a nice visual as we're coming in. Hey, thanks, Tracy Van Brat, or Van Brat. Okay, but I'll be back here in a minute. I gotta go use the facilities. Yeah, anytime you get video and things like that, it really helps. Makes a big difference. Then you can use multiple sources. All right, just a second. Right in the middle of the good part. Yeah. All right. Well, thanks for we got it done. Teamwork. Maybe I shouldn't care as much when how about this? Well, if I'm doing a live stream and I'm looking for something, I guess I'll just have to realize that it's open. But when I'm looking, obviously when I'm on my own, that's what I like doing. Because sometimes I use the craziest things. Like I would save it in like Kylie Rodney case. Remember when they found the car in the water, but all they showed us was a pontoon or something in the water, and then a mountain range in the background. And then I kept moving around on the lake until I lined up the mountains perfectly. And then a couple other shots that were out there, and then I was able to determine exactly where they were. Of course, right in the middle of making that, another YouTuber goes, "Oh, look at that! Look what I came up with!" They actually literally copied word for word what I was saying on the screen, and they didn't realize that I later corrected the spot and found the absolute spot. It's good times, good times. And yeah, So that's what led to all of the other stuff when they had the fire camera videos and so forth, that we use daylight over the nighttime and shows. And we actually found, I made a video showing the car go into the water and then sink just by using lights. Yeah. Hey, cool, Ninja. All right, guys, if you can help support the channel, that would be great. We're still not at the goal yet, but getting closer to a minimum goal, and then, I don't know, I guess I might have to come back on later again. We gotta start making things happen. Yeah, so what happened in that case was somebody had a camera. There was a fire camera that people discovered that filmed the lake where her car went into the water. And then they found the precise time, these videos where it shows these vehicles all driving around and lights and everything. And I was looking at it going, man, that's interesting. And then I saw the URL that they were at. And I went out to the fire camera site, and I knew in my mind, I didn't say anything to anybody because it's my idea, is to take a daylight still frame from earlier in the day and then film the, hey, thanks so much, Charlotte Denny. And then I took the video of the time frame where her car went into the water. That was just lights in the darkness. That's all it was. Just lights in the darkness. And then I took the daylight camera. And then what I did was I took the still frame and overlaid it on top of the night time video. And then changed the transparency to, you know, like 20%. So you could still see the lights really easily through the daylight shot. And it was unbelievable. You literally could see the cars driving around. Then one car turns, goes down, and that's exactly where it would go. And I think they just went the wrong way. They were drunk, and the car went into the lake. You see the car in one position for a while, and it gets dimmer and dimmer, and then it goes. Phew. I mean, it's just unbelievable. It was the craziest thing I've ever done. And now you see law enforcement using the same technique. Yeah, it's pretty funny. Yeah, I've never seen it before until that, so I'm not sure if I came up with the idea, but it really lets you. I did it in the Idaho 4 case too, with some of the surveillance footage. When we finally got the footage of the daylight, like at 6 in the morning, all the cars are in the same spot and everything, maybe 7, and then I took a daylight shot of that, put it on top of the nighttime. When the cars are all driving, when Koberger's car's driving around, and it really allows you to see exactly where everything is more clear. Yeah. Sweet. Hey, thanks again up there, Charlotte Denny. All right, so let's just do what, I'm going to go do my theory. And by the way, did somebody give the address out for where the second glove was found? Not sure. Somebody said a second glove was found. I don't know if that's true. Yeah. Koberger, Kirk. Yeah, whenever we have these big cases, I think I cover it well, Unfortunately, what happens is whenever there's a big case, the sensationalistic, on-the-scene YouTubers always take over, and they don't know what the hell they're doing. But it's so entertaining. Oh, it's entertaining. But if you want to be somewhere where you're literally, putting the pieces of the puzzle together in a logical way, this is where you want to be. We're ahead of the news all the time. They're now saying all the stuff we've been saying for a long time. I think I would have been pretty good if I'd like to be one of the analyst types that are sitting in the background, just basically only analyzing video and maybe have other information. I think it's important for investigators to have knowledge of all the things coming in, so that they can, when they're looking at something, it might make them think of something. And I think that was one of the problems in the Delphi case, where the officer, when he talked to Richard Allen, it didn't seem to mean much to him because he just didn't know it very well. He's just sort of, hey, what's going on? What were you there? What were you doing? Did they determine if he was wearing the gloves on his bare skin? No, I don't know. They may have done that. I think they might be really thick gloves. You know? Hey, it's 8675309. I need to get a little clip of that. That music, when you show up, it just plays it. Could you put an edit option on the message format? What do you mean? Oh, we can't change. Like, what do you mean, message? You can always. I think you can edit your comments in the chat. You just click on them. Yeah, the 3 stars, and you hit the edit button. Oh, we've already gone over that. I was the first one to point out the picture with nothing, with no backpack and everything. I think that's like 5 minutes or so before. I think that person, I even talked about it on this show. It's right over here. This shot right here is 5, I don't know. I mean, I can't tell you how many exact minutes. I just think it's like, what's happening in this picture is, there's a video, I guarantee you there's a video where you see him come out of the darkness and he walks over to here and he looks at the door and then he's like, okay, yeah, I can do this or whatever. And then he takes off, goes back to his vehicle that might be parked over here and puts the gun on, at least takes it out of the pocket. There's kind of a bulge there. Puts it in the front. Puts the backpack on because now he's ready to, start doing whatever he's going to be doing, And then he walks away, does that, and then comes back, and then that's when we start seeing him showing up in these other ones with the backpack on. It's the same person though, 100%. Hey, thanks, Noah's blurry hat. I don't know. He seems to walk like a normal person to me. Yeah. So if you're here late, the timeline that I have is, and now they're starting to say the same thing on the news. We've been talking about this on this channel. Is, we already know all about the. I'll just word what the timeline is, and I'll tell you what I think it is. Oh yeah, I'm not embarrassed for him. I just think he's I'm like, embarrassed means you have some sympathy. 5:32 p.m. Nancy goes to Annie's house for dinner and games, and she took an Uber driver. 5:42, Nancy arrives there. That's if 5:32 is when she was picked up. Tommaso drove Nancy home after they were sitting around watching movies, playing mahjong, whatever. I don't know if they were watching movies, but they had dinner, played mahjong, and he drove her home, and he probably left the house at 9:38 because at 9:48 the garage door opens up, and that's likely where Nancy got out and walked inside, and then 9:50 the garage door shut. And then at 1:47 a.m. the doorbell camera disconnects, and then 2:12 a.m. the software detects a person or movement on camera, but there was no subscription to the camera, so the camera and they didn't have any video. Then 2:28 a.m. the pacemaker disconnects from the network. Then Nancy, who would go to a different house every Sunday and watch the church service of her daughter Savannah on a streaming site. She didn't show up to the house that she was supposed to show up to watch it that day, and that person's the one that called Annie and said, "Hey, your mom didn't show up to watch church at her house today." So at 11:56 a.m., Annie and her husband arrived over to Nancy's house looking for her, and obviously noticed blood and whatnot around, and then just 7 minutes later called the police. And then 12 minutes after that, the police arrived. That was 12:03, and then 12:15 a.m., the patrol arrives. That's pretty much the timeline. However, I think that the timeline starts, you might say, let's just say, some of this is a guess because I don't know. That first image is before 1:47 now. So, let's see. Man, I wish they'd give us the full shot, though. You could tell. Because if they gave us the full shot of this one, okay, hold on a second. Let me check something. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's to the... Okay, so that's 4, 5. Or 4, 5. No, because it went to the edge of that. So that's 5. I think there's 6 tiles out, right? Well, I guess we can tell on one of the other ones. We don't need to use that one. That's crap. All right, so there's 1. That's not good. That way that's filmed there. That was the one I was looking for. Okay. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That was right. So that Amazon package was put right there later. So there's 5 tiles until you get right to the edge there. So that means if we look at the one, this one, we can see, actually, that's 5, and then that's 4. So let's take a look at this one. So 5 and 4. Okay, so we can't see that tile, but there should be a little bit of blood visible on one tile in from that corner. That's what we're looking at. So 1 in, so that's the 4th one. If we go back to this, there should be, I guess it would be on that one. It's just out of range. I mean, that is just, God, what crappy. No, it's on the far corner, though. So there should be blood right there, but man, that's, that's hard to say. If this was later, let's say. So if this was all later, after he's already loaded up the car and he's looking around, he could have loaded up the car with Nancy, everything, took off the gun. I'm not sure why you would do that, but, and he came back here and he's looking. Unfortunately, they cropped it in such a way where they removed the valuable portions. Now but here we could see, so let's go. This is 5, 4, 3. There's all these droplets right there. I'm not sure, based on how clear this is, if you'd see them, but definitely don't see blood droplets if you could see them because of how grainy it is, but they would be right in this area here. Let's see if we can see how that little, there's like a, looks bigger there. I wonder if we can see that on one of these. Maybe that was this area. See how that's kind of bigger. I think that looks right. Yep, I think that's the one. All right, guys, we're having one of those massive lulls again. See if we can get support for the channel. We need some channel memberships, and if you have, if you can gift channel memberships, there's a lot of names in here that aren't members. That'd be cool. Make yourself available. And we need some super chats, etc. Thank you. Yeah, so I think that picture here is before, and then they were just kind of looking, and then they went back and got all their stuff. And this could have been 20 minutes before, to be honest with you. I mean, we don't know. They could have been walking around, surveilling, and I guess, I mean, if we really want to say it could be a day before. He's just looking. But I doubt it. It looks like he's got all the same exact clothing on. Maybe he would do that. But that's just so creepy, that one. Yeah, massive lull. That's what it feels like. Over and over again. Yeah. So, from above, we could look at it like this. He goes in here, and he disconnects the camera. Then I think he walks around and did a whole bunch of other stuff. I mean, it could even be, at one point, he goes over here and he takes out the floodlight. And then they're doing, there's multiple, one or two people. They're just going around. They're not doing they're not entering the home. They're preparing the house for entry without being, without being seen actually doing it, going in. Something like that, or exiting. So right over here, I think there's a fence. In some of the shots, it's open, but it might be such where they didn't want to break it because it would be too noisy. So they climbed over this fence, and then I think at 2:12, they forced entry into this here, maybe 2:11 or so. And then as they're walking inside the house, they tripped the camera in there at 2:12, and that's actually when they entered the home. 2:12, and then at 2:28, that's when the Nancy's was taken out of the front of the house. Right around that time, 2:28-ish, and that's when she was still alive, and coughed some blood or sneezed blood, whatever the hell you want to call it, on the cement, and then was taken away. So she was alive after leaving the home. And the time frame is 16 minutes, not 41. And there you have it. Yeah, that's when it's depressing, is when you say, hey, everybody, you can help support the channel. And then not one person during that time frame. Poor Gray. Poor Gray, man. Well, I think the time frame is absolutely 2:12 to 2:28. That's when they entered the home. I'm not even going to, I don't have any doubt that that's what it was. Because they said a camera inside the home is what signaled somebody on camera. And then that's it. That's when they entered the home. Because when they passed that camera, there was a motion. All right? Yeah, no, I don't. I always tell people, if you can't afford to help support the channel, you don't need to do it. But for the people out there that can and like what we do here and all the great stuff we do outside of just the show, then I would appreciate it. Thank you. Thanks, Curtis. Try again. Okay, can you send me another one? Why would it be important to the suspect that he isn't seen taking Nancy out the front door? I don't know. Maybe it was more important to, the family, like whoever this is, seemed concerned. Like you wouldn't leave the body there, and then you also didn't want it on camera. And maybe they just didn't want you to know what they were doing. All of it. Come on, what? Yeah, come on. Yeah, the blood was near the door, yeah. Yeah. We've already explained it 100 times. Did you just start watching about the case today? But what about them stating 2 a.m. is when I just explained it, man. That's not what they said, Mad Chatter. I just showed you the freaking timeline. It's right here. 2:12. The software detected motion. 2:28 is when her pacemaker disconnects from the network, because that's when she was removed from the home. So likely it means that at 2:12 is when the person entered the home around that time and then left at around 2:28 with Nancy. Okay, do you get it? It's really clear. I mean, and we've shown where I think these people are just goofing around. I know, but we've gone over this so many times. This is like the 40th time I've said this. I don't think it was a brilliant question. We've talked about that on here. It's just like something we've talked about. It's not like, ooh, it's something new. What a great question. Ooh, 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 ooh. We've all talked about it a million times. Why? Like, yeah, he probably just didn't want to be seen just doing what they're going to be doing, taking her out of the house. That way there's no proof of, like, was she abducted or what? I think a better question is, why was she removed from the house? That's a question that gets to the heart of what actually is going on here. Do you guys think that this was the person went there to abduct and kill her, or did they go there to abduct her for ransom or something like that? Yes, everybody needs to be to class on time. What's weird is we've talked about the same thing so many times. No, they didn't state it that. They didn't say that, Mad Chatter. You're incorrect. They never stated that. This timeline has been out for a long time now. This is, I'd say, a week. This is the timeline, the 228, etc. Yeah, see, the whole ransom thing, they still seem to think that those first two were from the actual abductors. They seem to think that. Yeah, I mean, my theory is that somebody in the family hired somebody to do this. But sometimes when you watch how unprofessional this guy is, you sort of wonder, right? Because he does seem to have everything you need. He's got the gloves. He's got the little light in his mouth. He's got the balaclava. Just everything you would need to not leave much DNA or anything like that around. But then he does that stupid, oh my gosh, there's a camera. Let me put a piece of weed on top of it. That just seems so ludicrous. I mean, wouldn't a piece of duct tape be really simple just to put right there on the lens? You know? And then it also seems they're not worried about the audio portion of it, because they were just going to cover it with weeds, as somebody mentioned. Yeah. Not if it's Bitcoin. What could have been in that large backpack? Yeah. Yeah, it's probably stuff he was going to use to subdue Nancy. You know, like I said on one of the shows a few days ago, that maybe it's like duct tape and twine or something. I mean, there was 16 minutes they're in the house, so you think that, you know, they must have had to do something first. But again, even 16 minutes is even a long time. So, you know, what is it? Why? Why do you want Nancy's address? They were there specifically for her, and it looks like they may have known that the nest didn't. I don't think so. I don't think they knew that at all. Yeah. If they knew that the nest didn't have anything, they would have just not worried about it. They wouldn't even have removed any cameras or anything. You know, none of us knew that, oh my God, there's this crazy cache thing that was put out there online. Sounds like it was more basic than that, that it just kind of wrote over something and then it wrote it out and then it just deletes it because it's not, there's no account that was paid for, so it deletes and then you can rewrite over it again, but they were able to undelete it because it wasn't written over. Huh? On the screen. Oh, that was just the address for where the black glove was found. What do you mean? This one right here? Yeah, it's Nancy Guthrie's home. You don't need the address of it. You can see it right there on the screen. Maybe he was told the camera didn't work, but he was surprised to see the light come on. The light didn't come on, though. That's the thing. I think Ashley Banfield is, I think she was onto something. You know, she wasn't lying. Even if it turns out it's not accurate, she wasn't lying. She had a source high up in there that told her that they were interested in the husband of Annie. Okay? That's just the reality. Now, if it turns out that even though they were really interested in him, it turns out he didn't do something, then, you know, that's just that's just what it is. But it doesn't mean her information was incorrect. Man, you guys write stuff strange, that kind of wording. Okay, well, just... I mean, I'm just trying to... But why do you need to look it up? I want to know the answer to my question. If you give me a good reason, I'll tell you what it is. I just don't know when you're saying, hey, what's the address? What's the what for? Okay, I mean, we've gone over this a long time. You see it right there on the map. You give me a good reason. It's wild. Okay, forget it. I'm not telling you. Let's see. You can probably find it yourself somewhere. Yeah, I don't understand it. It makes no sense to me. Huh? I don't even know who that was. Swoop. That's the place where the black glove was. Grown life. Get the hell out of here. Got Troll City in here. The gun didn't even fit holster and reflective vest. Not functional. Yeah, but how do you snoop around? I'm showing you on the screen, you guys. Look. There it is. Are you right there on site? You want to walk around and snoop around? I need a good reason. I mean, I don't care. I looked it up. Everybody's looking at it. You know? It's just strange. It's a strange thing to ask for. Because I'm doing a show where we're covering and looking around, not somebody just watching something. He probably wore cheap clothes that you could bury and burn after the crime. I'm sure you can find it on your own. It's really simple. That address there was where the glove was found. Right over here. Exactly where we have this pin. That's where the glove was. Yeah, I'm just saying. I mean, the thing is, I don't even care about giving it out. It's just, what's the reason that you need it? When we're sitting here doing a show, you see where it is. You see where it's related to everything else. You know, I've shown Street View 1,000 times. We go down to the Street View. There's no street lights. There's nothing. Man. I babe the house number, but not the street. I babe? What? Yeah, I know. I mean, I haven't memorized what it is. I think at least I think I do. 5280 something. You can go find it yourself. You move the camera too much while you're looking at the street view. Maybe she wants to view it slower. Where do these people come from, man? It's just, get out of here. You're never watching again. God, these people are just... They want to send Domino's pizza to those... Yeah, exactly. That's why I didn't want to give it out, because I was thinking, what, are you going to send something there? It's crazy. Looney Tunes. Yeah. I mean, it's just wild in here. You move it too fast, Gray. I think I do Google Earth better than any other person that does Google Earth. Okay? There isn't anybody that does it as good as I do. They don't even know how to do any of the stuff that I do. Like going like this, like flying in, looking for something, or going around. They don't have a clue. Okay? So you can sit there and go, hey, he's moving around too much. That's cuckoo. Too many videos on these YouTube streets. Right. I missed this. Yeah. Yeah, I just don't understand what would be the purpose, you know? Now, if it was somebody that helps me out on looking around and cases. Oh, look at this. Google Earth got rid of street. Hold on. Oh, no, it's still there. It disappeared for a moment. There we go. Yeah, so when you walk around, there's no street lights, everybody. That's the house right there. We've shown this 17,000 times now. It's right there. If you go right over here and turn, the front door is actually through there. Now, if you go one more over, you can sort of see that the front door is right. I think it's... Yeah, it's hard to see. I think it's right there, through that darkness. So that camera is never going to really film a great shot of a car. And this is what it looks like out there. All right? Right. They could just find out on their own. It just feels like, you know, like people using your channel so they can go take off and go do something. If you want to do that, that's great. But if I wanted the address, I would go out and look for it. I know it's totally available. I went and looked for it and found it. It's weird how you can do that. Well, when you say aerial view, do you mean... But hey guys, any chance you could help support the channel today? We are stuck at we're not even at the minimum goal after all these hours. All right, let's see. We got light 24. Yeah, so this is live and there's nothing in the general area over here. Now there's one right there. What was that one doing? Well, that one looks like it may have gone near... Hold on. Is that like that? Yeah. So this helicopter made it to right near actually right over here. So probably like quarter mile away from Annie's house. Yeah, I can show it. I mean, it's not really a well, I have a screenshot of it. Let's see. Hey, thanks, Timothy Cecil. Man, this is one of those shows where people are just, yeah, just do the shows. Yeah. So this is the quickest path is this one right here. And it's right there. It's a little bit of the left there, but you go like all the way up here, over there, down, and here. Then another route is this one, where you go on Rudisill Road, North 1st Avenue, East via Entrada, and then it kind of goes around, and then up in this general area. I think it's right over here. Thanks, SBA 8710. Yeah, it says 3.8 miles on that one, 4.2 miles on the quicker route. But it's only as a crow flies. It's just horrendous driving stuff out there. I mean, there's no straight roads to go anywhere. I don't know. Yeah, so if you took a straight line from Nancy's home right to Annie's home, it is 2.68 miles. So very inefficient driving out there. And like I said before, I think you're going to start hearing people say that, oh yeah, that's a good angle, that's a good angle. What you're going to hear people talk about now is that the person who went to this house when it's pitch black outside, how in the hell did they know how to get there and out? This is so convoluted. And I mean, if you have the address and you have your mapping system, you'll be able to do it. But this person wouldn't have that on because that would ping their phone in the area. You wouldn't be able to use the mapping program. So you tell me how in the hell you'd get out of here. You'd have to sort of memorize it from another time, like you'd been there multiple times. There's just like you're here and you take a right and then, oh wait, do I go left here? Oh shit, if I go right, it's just, I think you definitely would have to have done a paper map. Yeah, he's got that flashlight. I don't think so. This is one of those things you'd want to get out quick, not sit around looking at a paper map. So I think this is somebody who'd been there multiple times. I just said that you can't use those things, Omi. It's going to register. The car is going to show up there. It's almost like you weren't paying attention again. Go sit in the back of the class. They said you can't even see your hand in front of your face. Yeah, I mean, if there's no lights on, it gets really dark. I'm sure during a full moon you could see that. Right. You seem confused, Omi. This person wasn't going to be tracked, so they're not going to have a car getting GPS signals, nor are they going to be using their phone getting GPS signals, because they can both be tracked. Everybody knows that. Eyeliner. Yeah, really? That's funny. I actually, Zozo thinks it kind of looks like a girl in there. And I said, I do sort of see, it looks kind of like eyeliner or mascara is what I said. I'm not sure what the difference is. I'm not a girl, but I was thinking of like, the Egyptian, that little dark thing that you put on there. On the face and the twigs. They didn't use the twigs to remove the nest. It fell on the ground because it wouldn't stay. They were trying to block the view. Did people think that they were using the nest to remove, the little twigs to remove the nest? That's ridiculous. Eyeliner. Yeah, I could care. I think it's a guy, so. Walter, I don't know what the rest of it means, but thanks, Walter. Thanks, Timothy Cecil, SBA 8710, and Walter. I don't know, dude did try to hide cameras with weeds. Not the brightest. Right. Well, if he did use GPS, then he's going to get caught because he used GPS there. I hope that's what he did, but let's just assume that he's, smarter than that. I guess he didn't plan very well with the camera removal situation or covering it. Now, he didn't really seem to plan on removing the camera. He just wanted to block it. So obviously, he didn't care about audio that might have been on there. He just didn't want the video portion. And the person went in there. Because of that, I believe there could be two different reasons. One is they didn't want to see, let people see what they were doing. But also, if you look right there, they could have pulled up their car right here to put Nancy in it. And that would easily be seen on that camera. If they pulled up right there and what kind of vehicle they had. So you'd want to make sure that there was nothing visible in that camera when you took Nancy out and put her in the car. That's right down there. Does that make sense? Oh, from the Big Lebowski? I guess I didn't watch that. Maybe it would have been funny if I'd seen it. Right, so that means that they were aware that they were going to be coming out the front door with something later, so they needed to block that camera. You see? It gets kind of interesting if you really think about it. So these guys blocked the camera because they knew that they were going to be coming out the front door with something later. And I think they knew that they were going to be bringing Nancy out of the house. And they were going to have their car pull up right there. They probably planned this out. They'd probably been there before even and saw that there was that fence that's probably locked in the back. And you'd have to break the fence to get in. And maybe it would be too noisy to do something like that. Maybe it was pretty solid. And there's no way to get it out of the house. You could say maybe they could have taken her out of the garage, but maybe that gets kind of more complicated just because, maybe there's a car in there and you got to move her around and get her out the garage and then you bring her, who knows? But obviously, I think they planned to take her out the front door because why would they give a damn about the front door if they weren't going to do that? Because if they were back here, you could have just driven out here and left. It could speak to, though, if you think no matter what, that they would have to turn right and go this way, and maybe they were nervous that it would film that portion of the car, and it may indicate what direction they were heading. But it seems most likely that it was that they pulled up here, they were going to pull up there and just move her out and then take off. Man, where are all the freaks? We need to get the support up here. We're just struggling. having a struggling night. So if you guys have the ability to help support the channel, I would appreciate it. We need some more channel memberships, etc. Yeah, I think there were 2, but right now we only have evidence of 1. I don't think one person would be able to, you know, if Nancy was incapacitated, would be able to move one person like that. Yeah, I've shown the tire track images. It's in these right here. Yeah, I mean, I actually see this one right there, which is kind of interesting. You know, I don't know if that was from somebody else, but it's interesting. It's right there. You know, maybe they came in from over here and then turned, and then maybe the other tire is right over here. You can kind of see some sort of something right over there. And then that would put the edge of it maybe right here, and then they bring her down, put her in the car with the back open, and then take off. You know, maybe there was footprints in the gravel there. I hope they did a good job on that. You'd think you'd be able to get some footprints out of there somehow. All right, guys, I'm gonna take off. Maybe I'll try to come on later. All right, so thanks to Sharon, Furford, Fitz 711, Dixie Hippie, True Crime King, Cats Are Us, Violet, Debuno, Top Secret, Curtis West, Eagle Stars and Stripes, Jareth King, Top Secret to you, 15 Lee 89, Kachow, Dixie Hippie 8 months, thank you, M Lynn, then we had T Bolton, new member, welcome, KMTX gifted one, Sally Swift gifted one, J Tharp, Saturn Dreaming of Mercury, Barb Space. Jesus. T Bolton, Cats Are Us, and then Anne Marie. Then we had SBA 8710. Terry Crabtree, Phyllis Watson, Violet, Dixie Hippie, Suki Smith, Matthew, Tracy Von Brott, Charlotte Denny, Noah's Blurry Hat, Curtis, Timothy Cecil, SBA 8710, and Walter Sobchaks. Alright, maybe we'll come on later, see how it goes. Different kind of crowd in the earlier shows. Yeah, see how this person said they just bashed in here? I think my content's better than everybody. If you really give a shit about the facts of a case, we put it together here, okay? We don't invent stuff like you dipshit Pugmom. Or not Pugmom, the other... Who's the person up there? Lost it. Oh, yeah, Princey... Rar. Sorry, Pugmom. I was talking... Your comment slid right over the top of that one. Yeah, I don't know what to tell you. If you want to have somebody that knows how to put shit together, figure stuff out, this is where you want to go. If you want to sit and listen to somebody ruminating about how this guy did it, and 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 this guy did it, over and over and over again, and never be correct on anything, then go watch somebody else. If you want to have the facts, come here. We work through it. Yeah, sometimes the show's sort of... You know, we're moving through slower because we're looking something up, trying to find things. We actually try to figure stuff out instead of just making shit up. Okay? So I get really sick of these people that come in and say that. If you don't like my show, don't watch it. Feel free to go watch the dipshits that sit there and order pizzas delivered to a house, and you just spend all your time watching that garbage, and you'll get nothing out of it. I can tell you that right now. All right, thanks everybody. We'll see you guys later, and be safe out there. Yeah, I've been doing this true crime thing for quite a while now, and during this whole time, I have not seen one person that is a crime dissector, plug rejector. I'm a certified human lie detector. Gonna get ya on a stretcher if you try and play me like an old projector. Crime sector is my nectar. Professor Grader's gonna give another lecture. Crime collector, freak connector, and I'm always gonna be a pup protector. Fool deflector, interceptor, and I'm meaner than a specter with a vector on his pector. With all respect, y'all, just remember I've a temple fucking check ya. I have no agenda, I'm no pretender, and I'll serve it to you straight without the blender. And in the end, I'm gonna send ya on a mission to reveal the true offender. Yeah, so I'll just get right back to work. All right, everybody?